United Way Suncoast plays a major role in making our community a great place to live, and they now have a new leader. We're so excited to meet the new CEO, Kourtney Sanchez. Kourtney, welcome so much. Thank you so much for joining us. You used to work with the Bucks. Tell us a little bit about what you did there and how that is going to help you in your new role.
Absolutely. So I had such a great job at the Buccaneers. I was Chief Impact Officer and also Executive Director of the Glazer Family Foundation. So what that role was is I got to work with our players and the organization at large on all of their philanthropic strategy, the ways they gave back to the community, and also with the Glazer family, the owners of the Bucks, closely on their personal philanthropic initiatives.
Sounds like a perfect fit moving into this direction. How do you think your experience there is going to prepare you for the big challenges that you have ahead here?
Absolutely. So the Glazers and the Buccaneers are so generous. They are really supportive of our nonprofit community in the greater Tampa Bay area. And so I learned so much from the funder donor side of the table, how organizations and individual philanthropists look at partnership opportunities with nonprofits, how they try to work in investments to impact our community and better the lives of our neighbors. So it gives me a whole different perspective. Before that, I was in the nonprofit sector. So it's almost like I'm coming home in this role at United Way Suncoast. So to be able to have my nonprofit experience and expertise there, and also my time with the Glazers, my time with the Bucks, really understanding the psychology of donors, if you will, and the inner thinking has really prepared me well for this opportunity.
That's awesome. Let's talk a little bit about what United Way does for our community.
So something that really attracted me to United Way Suncoast in this opportunity is just their larger ability to pivot and answer the needs and the calls of our community and our neighbors. They do that through direct services, really focusing on educational opportunity, financial security, and community resiliency, but they're also conveners and capacity builders for our greater nonprofit ecosystem here in Tampa Bay. And so I like to think of United Way Suncoast as just being able to come in and lift up not only our community members, but our nonprofit partners at the same time.
And like I said, you hit the ground running. The 2026 ALICE report just came out, and it's a little shocking. Tell us what the ALICE report is and what some of the findings are.
So ALICE stands for Asset Limited Income Constrained Employed. So what that means is these are hardworking community members. They have full-time jobs. They're our nurses, our teachers, our grocery baggers, right? People that we're seeing every single day that are really impacting and touching our lives, but they're living paycheck to paycheck. So they're one unexpected bill from financial crisis. And unfortunately here in the state, we see 47% of our community in that ALICE threshold. So nearly half of our neighbors are living in this financially constrained life. And here in Sarasota County, it's over $108,000 needed for a survival budget with a family of 4 with young kids.
That is incredible.
Yes.
Say that number again.
Over $108,000 per year needed for survival. So this is not movies and outings and dinners out. This is just your basic needs
day to day.
For a couple and 2 young children.
All right. How do you guys help when you see those numbers? What can United Way do to help that situation?
Absolutely. I think first and foremost, it's educating our community, because unfortunately, when we look at the ALICE numbers and the lives that these community members are living, it's a greater problem than any singular nonprofit can solve. And so with this ALICE report and data, we're sharing it out, not only to our nonprofit partners that we're collaborating with to try to answer some of these problems and create some solutions, but also with our government officials, our employers. How do we all take on a part of this problem and solve it together? What
is the message that you want to give to some of these elected officials? Because we can talk nonprofits all day long and pull at people's heartstrings and read those numbers and be shocked. I'm shocked by the number that you just told me, but what do our elected officials really need to understand to get on board with this?
I think it's just that we all want the same thing. We want our families and our community members, our neighbors that are hardworking citizens to thrive and survive in the economy that we're seeing right now. And so whether it's going to our website, uwsalice.org, to learn more and really understand this data, but more importantly, just to have dialogue and think with action and solution.
For people watching at home in our last 15 seconds, what would you say to them if they say, you know what, I want to help? What's the easiest way?
So United Way Suncoast does something for everyone, I like to say, whether we are uplifting families in education and trying to grow our next generation of leaders. Right now, we're in our summer care programs where we're providing child care for families communities that need that support in the summer months, or we're, thinking about taxes all over again, right? We do free tax preparation. So there's so many different ways for our community to not only support financially, but to give their time as well to our different initiatives.
All right, thank you very much. Welcome, congratulations. And if you want to figure out a way how you can help, you can go learn more at uwsalice.org, and we will be right back.